Good afternoon to you because I know that this is over there in Manchester, UK. I can tell you, so I miss you. I miss you. Something about you. I miss you. Anyway, and I am sure there's a lot of styles listeners miss you also. Should I try work out something, man? You know, don't walk your pussy.
You tune in to spiritual vibration with Sister P. I've been promising you this for weeks. It's just what?
I just want to acknowledge some of the people who have taken time to acknowledge me, and this is from Mac. And Mac is from Kenya. And Mac says, greetings, Sister P, for a great program. The interview with Superintendent is very informative, a first-hand account of what she saw. I was lucky to work for a company that sent me to Kenya to work for work as a volunteer. I was able to see my country from the other side. If any one of the listeners have the opportunity to volunteer, please do. It's a wonderful experience. Ask Burning Spear when he went to Kenya how he was received. Africans love Jamaicans and other Africans in the diaspora. Please visit any country that you like in Africa, and that will forever change your life for better understanding and inner tranquility. Oh, Matt gives thanks. Okay, Tony from Virginia, Sister P, enough love and blessings. Nice to hear you again. And to Cassidy, enough love, my great my brother. Okay, when you answer, Cassidy.
DIB Black Factory and Hardware Supplies Limited, your home for the widest selection of building materials and hardware supplies in Portland. Shop everything from plumbing to electrical to home decor. Find unbelievable prices on tiles, toilets, basins, faucets, shower enclosures, vanity sets, doors, windows, numbers, and much more. Get up to 25% off at DIB Hardware the last Friday and Saturday of every month with their mega month-end sale. Visit any 3 locations in Portland, Buff Bay, St. Marcus Bay, and Port Antonio. Call 993-4415. DIB Hardware, your foundation starts with us.
Yeah, the girls are part of this. Melbourne, aka Akbar, present the annual birthday bash and fish fry, Friday, March 6, 2020. Featuring Real Martha, Stone Love Sound, Black Ice, Fire Blinger, Fire Race, Under the Rock, 8 Touch River, Portland. Fish fry tickets $1,000, party admission $400, giveaways every hour. What you got them? What you got them? Friday, March 6, Top Love, Under the Rock, on bar.
Shauna representing for DJ Prestige with The Hot Lot, when new music gets the spot. On Styles FM 96.1,
96.5, 96.7. From 9 to 1 p.m. each and every Friday morning.
Prestige. Do it now, baby.
Business operators, local and overseas. This announcement is for you.
Styles FM is an internationally known radio network with worldwide listeners in over 120 countries.
From our studio in Port Antonio, Jamaica, to the ears of the people in your community, our listeners can be your new customers.
Styles FM is an economical, efficient, and effective advertising option for your business.
No matter the size of your business, there's always growth potential. Styles FM provides the customer reach needed to realize that upward movement.
So procrastinate no more. Advertising is a must.
For more details on how to advertise with Styles FM, visit www.stylesfm.com or email info@stylesfm.com or call us on 876-518-2399.
Styles FM, the world listens.
Hey yo, Mookie, say yo. It's Takeover Thursdays. It is a place I know I really love to take you. Styles, I need you. He's gonna be playing big tunes there. Takeover Thursdays. Takeover Thursdays. Takeover Thursdays. Listen every Thursday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Hey, it's Jamaica's favorite naturopath, Dr. Ben-Yisrael. Join me for the natural alternative on Styles FM. This and every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to 12 noon. During Spiritual Vibrations with Sister P.
You tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
So we have, as you heard by that ad, a new feature in this program. Welcome, Dr. Ben-Yisrael.
Thank you very much for having me, Sister P. And it's my pleasure being here today.
I know that you have a lot of information for us, but first, tell us a little bit about yourself so that we have an idea.
All right.
Yes.
Again, thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Ben-Yisrael. That's my spiritual name. My birth name is Marlon Perlock. And I am
You're related to the
Oh.
I'm working for
Yeah.
I'm working for that intercontinental.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. May his soul rest in peace.
Yes, absolutely. Rest in peace. Yes.
Last December.
Yes.
Last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. But so I'm from Montego Bay, and I'm meaning, but my experience, my training, my work extends herbology, which is one aspect of natural medicine. So, first of all, my biggest approach, my biggest therapy is education, because my mantra is that the greatest weapon against sickness and disease is education, not medication. So my program, my approach is very education intensive. And then outside of education, of course, there is herbology, which we use to undergird everything that we do. But outside of that, we employ the acupressure treatments and a vast number of electronic devices in what we call quantum medicine.
Yes.
So quantum medicine is where science meets technology. And so we use a number of devices to help persons to get better. One of them that most persons will talk about, and most persons are fascinated about, is a device that we use, that I use, that's based on quantum medicine, that allows me in over 35 different assessments. So less than 1 minute, there are persons who test me, including medical doctors and different persons from different professional, medical professional backgrounds. In less than a minute, if you come to me, I can assess you and tell you what's happening in your body.
Wow.
So that's one of the devices that we use. We use nutrition because no program is sustainable without nutrition, because as you know, your medicine should be your food and your food should be your medicine. So we employ it as well. And I operate an entity called the Hallelujah Lifestyle Wellness Center. It's based here in Port Antonio, and it's based at the Port Antonio Inn Resort. So from that facility, we're able
Is that
to
what
offer,
used to be Crest? So that
right?
know.
So it used to be,
So it's actually Ferry Hill.
Ferry Hill.
Yes, so people know
Right,
what
it
we're
used to be.
talking about. Yes.
yes, it used to be Jamaica Crest, and from there we're able to offer a number of in-house therapy. Matter of fact, that's where we are pushing. That's what we're promoting now. We set that up in February of last year, so February gone is 1 year since we've been operational at the Wellness Center. We also have an office in Duckens Field, and we operate a number of mobile clinics. We operate a mobile clinic in Montego Bay and a mobile clinic in Kingston as well. And what we're doing now, one of the main things we're doing now is we're trying to get, so if there's anybody listening, one of our drive right now, as I said, education is very big. We're trying to get as many faith-based or community-based organizations out there that are listening to partner with us in getting us to come into those organizations to do not only presentations but demonstrations. Not just presentations but demonstrations on natural alternatives. Simple things, home remedies, simple things that persons can do to help themselves to get better naturally. So that's one of the things we're promoting. You're part of a church and you want us to come into your organization, your community-based organization, or your workplace and have us do one of our presentations or demonstrations, then we would love to do so. And I'll give out the numbers in a little while, so I'll give persons time to get their pen or their notepads out, so we can give out the numbers, and I'll do so throughout the program. But a bit about Hallelujah Lifestyle Wellness Center. As the name implies, Hallelujah, Hallel. I'm of the Hebraic faith, so that of course will translate into our practice and our way of life. It means praise Yah, and we believe it's not just a word; it's a lifestyle. It's translated in how you dress, it's translated in how you eat, it's translated in almost everything that you do. And so we believe that our eating and our lifestyle should praise the Most High and give honor to the Most High. And we found that a lot of persons are sick. As a matter of fact, when I came on today, I don't know if it was, but hopefully next week I want to talk about coronas. Because this is something that is taking advantage of people who have a very weak immune system. The government have to worry, but people who are taking care of themselves, people who have their immune system intact, don't have to worry. And so we are going into spring, and I want to share with persons next week. We're starting a program next week. If you know anybody who's sick, anybody who has a compromised immune system, we want to share with them why to make themselves to an extent, quote unquote, immune to coronas. As you know, there are many persons, Sister P, who have been tested positive, but they are not suffering any symptoms because their immune system is strong.
When you say tested positive, you mean here in Jamaica?
No, not here in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but outside of Jamaica.
So we haven't really had any cases.
Maybe, I'm not sure any confirmation yet. There's still speculations. But we know of the confirmed cases outside of Jamaica, in countries where there are confirmed cases. There are a vast number of persons who have the virus but are not showing the symptoms of sickness or the symptoms of ailment as those persons with a compromised immune system.
I want to ask a question here because I had received something that said that the melanin within us as African people.
Sister P, Sister P, come on, man. You want to turn this half white to over an hour. I want to talk.
Okay, we'll leave it till next week.
Yeah, I want to talk about melanin.
Yes,
melanin is a whole show by itself.
Yes.
And I don't even want to get started on that.
Yes.
But it is a fact that people who are of high melanin content and persons in tropical or hot regions are not so much at risk.
Yes.
You know, all viruses, molds, and all those, tend to come out during the winter when the time is very cold because they love that type of climate. So that's it. I want to talk about it next week.
Yes, we'll talk about it next week.
But so if you know anybody who has concern about coronas, then you need to let them be on the show next week. I promise you, it's going to be fine. Or
876-453-1444.
Yes, that's the number.
Yes, that's the WhatsApp number for status.
Right, so persons can.
And if you do have a question, you can call in at 876-453-1444. But they does not take telephone calls, so you have to call in on the line.
Alright, so yes. I see Monique ask that question. It's not acknowledge Monique that I see you. I'm gonna see if I get the chance to talk on it. But I was talking about what it is that we offer at Hallelujah Lifestyle Wellness Center. So as I said, we are able to offer in-house therapies. We have persons that come in for a wide variety of complaints. I might ask persons in the Duckens field or in the Port Antonio area who have benefited from our program, maybe to call in to tell persons what their experiences are. Persons testifying about overcoming issues as it relates to a large prostate. We do a program on that. We have persons who talk about just you name it, because we don't take credit. I certainly don't take credit for helping anybody. What I do is basically give people, furnish persons with the knowledge, give them the raw material and guide them as it is the raw material, and the body does the rest.
Yes.
Because the scripture says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the body basically was made to heal itself. If a person is not healing, if a person is suffering from ailment to a large extent, it's based on the body's healing mechanism being damaged, being weak, and there's some form of. I think what we do is we guide persons, we furnish persons with the information and to some extent the raw material that they need to give their bodies so that their body can do the work that it was designed to do, which is to heal itself. So I don't want to take credit for that, but you know, we have seen so many persons come in and they're amazed at you know, as I said, there are persons, some of them might be listening in Duckens Field and some of those areas.
Yeah, because St. Thomas
Wide listenership.
Wide listenership.
Yeah, we have persons, and you can also go online, because whenever possible, I do ask persons to give testimonials.
Yes.
Or if you type in 876 Herbs on the internet, a lot of our YouTube videos will come up. 876 Herbs. We have a website, hallelujahlifestyle.com. It's kind of difficult for persons to type it in terms of the spelling.
Okay.
So I've added 876 Herbs, which is self-explanatory. It's easy to remember. To type in 876 Herbs anywhere on Google, it will bring you to our website at 876herbs.com, or it will bring you to one of our videos which have my telephone number and everything else. So anybody who can't remember my number, just go online and type in 876 Herbs. Any video that pops up, my telephone and other contact information will be there. Alright? So at our wellness center, what we are doing, Sister P, we are promoting retreats. We have 4-day retreats, we have 10-day retreats. Because of what we do, we don't put a limit on what we don't do or what we do. So anybody who has any form of we don't take credit. The body heals itself. How and what to do, and just allow nature to do what it was designed to do. So we have persons who have come in with lupus, we have persons who have come in with cancer, we have persons who have come in with, you name it, all different types of ailment, all different types of disease or discomforts. And all we did was we guided them. It was uncomfortable at first. There is discomfort, but once they were able to go through that discomfort, they were amazed at watching the body do what it's supposed to do, which is heal itself. And so what we're doing now, we also have a website, as I said, 876herbs.com and hallelujahlifestyle.com. And we use these two platforms to disseminate information, number one. And number two, we use it, part of that information is as it relates to herbal knowledge. So every Monday at 10 a.m., we have a series of videos that come out called Herbally Speaking. And what I do is I travel across the length and breadth of Jamaica to find herbs, help people to identify them in the wild, and to teach them about the medicinal use of these herbs.
I used to do that for retreats for naturopath doctors.
Herb walks.
Herbal walks.
Right.
Yes.
And that's also something that we encourage. I'm trying to get Jamaicans. I'm trying to get Jamaicans or persons outside of Jamaica or inside of Jamaica to join us on these herb walks. A lot of persons ask me when am I going to start a school or start a course, and I'm working on that. But the closest we come to starting a school right now is the herb walks. And we want to do one of those at least every month. Because let me tell you something, Sister P. About 50 years ago, when Western medicine came intensively in Jamaica to penetrate Jamaica, what they had to do successfully was they had to create a propaganda. So they had to destroy what we had. What did we have? We had what we call indigenous healers. We had healers that learned their medicines traditionally, orally and otherwise.
It's our African tradition.
And so what they did was that they attacked that ancient art form by questioning the science-based knowledge of those persons. Remember, these were persons who got the information traditionally but couldn't explain. So you ask them, I have this condition, what do I do? Well, take this. Well, can you explain to me chemical constituents? Can you explain to me everything? They couldn't. So what the medical industry did was that they created doubt in our traditional healers, a system of healing that has been there for thousands of years. And the mistake that our people did was that we began to look to Western medicine, and we allowed these ancient persons to die with the knowledge. And so now that Western medicine is failing, persons are gravitating back to natural medicine. But guess what? We allow the libraries to die without getting the information. So part of what I do, part of the legacy that I want to establish in Jamaica is to restore that ancient knowledge. So I travel across Jamaica along with my training. I try to find the herbs. When I did my training, it was based on an American system. Yes. So part of what I did was to cross-reference the herbs from abroad with the ones that are in Jamaica to find the substitutes, one. And number two, to find some of those herbs that have different names. That information is what I put forth in Herbally Speaking every Monday. So I tell persons to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Then we make compounds. So for those persons who want the knowledge but don't have the time to spend to learn these herbs and to formulate them and to combine them, we also have compounds that we make. So we used to make teas, and right now I'm moving away from teas to tinctures, which is a more concentrated form of the plant that has a more consistency in terms of the results. So at our website, persons can go there and find HallelujahLifestyle.com. They can go there and they can find herbal compounds. On our other website, which is 876herbs.com, is where we want to make available bulk and retail herbs. So I've also found that some of the most powerful herbs in the world are from Jamaica. And let me be biased.
Give me the name of which one of the herbs from Jamaica is really very powerful.
Woman Piaba.
Woman Piaba.
Woman Piaba is a herb. As a matter of fact, woman Piaba is used for women who have a number of menopausal issues. So if you have menopausal issues, that herb was made popular by Harry Belafonte in one of his songs, Man Piaba, Woman Piaba. Yes. And it is predominantly found in St. Thomas. As a matter of fact, I've traveled all across Jamaica, and the greatest concentration and those with the greatest efficacy has been found in St. Thomas. Okay. So, you know, I'm also saying that St. Thomas should be one of the wealthiest parish. St. Thomas and Portland should have a factory exporting herbs. And let's talk about marijuana, because marijuana has...
I used to export herbs.
You used to export herbs?
I exported herbs to a company in New York called Sundial Herbs.
I know Sundial Herbs.
I was the one who used to export to them. I started, when they started, I was the original person, and I used to...
And they have blossomed. They have blossomed.
Well, they have lost everything.
Yeah?
Yes.
I know mountain rose herbs, you know, which started out in about the same time as blossom. But I think that, you know, with the College of Agriculture, Science and Education being in this neck of the highland, we should have, Portland St. Thomas should have one of the most robust herb export industry in Jamaica. I don't talk about marijuana, because we have magnified marijuana to the point that some of the powerful herbs are in the shadows.
Yes.
And so if a person can get a license to do marijuana, there are dozens of other herbs that are equally, maybe not equally potent, but are maybe equally potent, but in certain respect. You know, marijuana has a very broad spectrum use, but there are a number of other herbs that are similarly potent in their own respect.
Can I ask a question? Is golden seal in Jamaica?
No.
Okay,
Golden seal is not found in Jamaica. You know, so those two websites, I mean, encourage persons to go there and subscribe, put out articles as well. And right now we have at the Wellness Center we have yoga that we offer. So anybody that wants to do yoga, and we'll get our yoga specialist to come in and talk. We have a chiropractor that we want to bring in as well. We have a nutritionist there as well. So we want Portland to be that area where a person, when you think about natural medicine and natural healing or recovering naturally, that's where we want them to come.
Yeah, okay. I have a problem. Sciatica. And I don't know, it seems to me from talking to people that the thing for that would be acupressure or acupuncture.
Yeah, definitely. Acupressure.
Is that right?
Yeah, chiropractic medicine, chiropractic therapy can help because sciatica is that nerve that runs right in the back of the leg, and most of it's damaged from a lot of men, a lot of persons who sit with objects in their back pockets will damage their sciatica nerve. And so massage therapy, which is acupuncture or acupressure or chiropractic
Yeah, because,
therapy are those therapies that will help that
Because
condition.
massage doesn't really help it. But
Soothes it.
one of the things is I have noticed because I've lived on hills. Like I've lived in the mountains, I've lived on hills. And I remember the elders used to say to me, be careful how you're coming down the hill.
Yes.
And I know that is what gives me or has given me that sciatica problem. Because
Yes.
you're coming down the hill and you want to walk fast enough that you're sweating, and then you don't realize it to damage your body.
Okay, right. So of course there are, because as you get older too, your spine tends to curve,
Yes.
and there are misalignments. So if yours was caused predominantly by walking down the hill, you would I would recommend first doing some chiropractic adjustments because your nerve would not be damaged that bad. Again, somebody who was sitting on a wallet or sitting on an object in their back in front, that would have damaged the nerve itself. That would have damaged the nerve itself. I see where someone said, what is good for allergies that drain behind the throat that makes you cough a lot? Well, what I say to persons first is, an allergy is not something that you want to manage. An allergy is something that you want to get away. An allergy basically is, in the body there are chemicals that are triggered when an allergen can be pollen, dust, and so on. And sometimes those allergies, you want to get to the root of it. And so a lot of persons are accustomed to taking medication. What I recommend is doing a liver flush first to get rid of whatever physical debris might be in the liver. The next thing you want to do is ensure that you're not consuming any type of dairy product. And another thing that is also very good is what we call a nasal irrigation using colloidal silver. So first of all, you want to do a liver flush to clear the liver. The next thing you want to do is to ensure that you're not consuming any form of dairy to encourage your body to produce excessive glucose. And the third thing you want to do is to do what we call a nasal irrigation using colloidal silver. You can also use saline or salt water as well.
Okay,
so that's for Karen.
And then we have another person who didn't identify themselves. I need to know if you can do anything about glads.
I don't know what is glads. That person is more clear. But our numbers are 831-9697. That's our number. That's our office here in Port Antonio. That's 831-9697. That's our WhatsApp hotline. And then for St. Thomas, it's 789-7843. So Port Antonio is 831-9697. And for St. Thomas, it's 789-7843. And those are the numbers that you'll also call to make an appointment if you want to come in for a consultation. Again, if there's anyone listening that would want us to come into any one of their faith-based organization, your church or your community-based organization, for us to do a presentation / demonstration, not just to present, but to show you a number of natural things that you can do to help with conditions that persons may have. And so, we want to travel around Jamaica, and of course, we want to do that. So persons who want to reach out to us can get us through those numbers.
Oh, by the way, you have visited Sisumbo Vegetarian Restaurant.
Yes, man. When I came to Port Antonio, it was hard to find somewhere that I could find to eat. So I was on the search, and I was going back into Buff Bay, and I always see that number, Susumba, the name Susumba. And I said, that sounds like a natural cuisine. And so I stopped 2 times and there was nothing there. And I stopped.
Because you came too early, right?
Yeah, I came too early. And I heard that I would have to call. And I came the 3rd time and I had the meal. And it was, I don't know if chef told me, but I nearly hired him on the spot to come and cook for us. But in faithfulness, sister, please.
No, I know.
You know that?
You know why I know?
Mm.
There's a couple of reasons why. He don't want to leave his community, Hope Bay. He doesn't want to leave his community because his grandmother is there. And also, he likes working in the kitchen by himself.
Oh, okay.
So even myself, I have to be careful how I go into the kitchen because it's his kitchen, it's not my kitchen.
Just take it over now.
No, but that's, something, that's how a young person should be.
Yeah, man.
That's how they're supposed to be. Yes.
Yeah. Territorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So somebody's asking, Karen is asking, so the number, Karen, is 831 96 97 or 789 7843. That's the St. Thomas number. And you can call any one of those numbers wherever you are, and you can get us. If you're online, if you forget the number, you just go on Google and type in 876 Herbs, and that will bring you to one of our YouTube videos. My email address or website address, everything is on that. And I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel for tons of videos. As I said, because we're so close. So next week I'm going to talk about the coronavirus, and what you can do naturally to offset that, exposing yourself to it. And we are going into spring. And the fact that we're going into spring, I want to introduce you to what is called spring cleaning. Spring cleaning, which is a set of routine activities that you need. I don't care how sick you are. I don't care how sick you are. I don't care what the doctor says you have. If you can join me on that spring cleaning, I don't care what you have, because the body doesn't know any disease by name. So inside the body, no labels exist. Cancer doesn't exist. HIV doesn't exist. AIDS doesn't exist. These are just labels that exist outside the body. The body doesn't know any disease by name or classification. So these are just labels that man have fabricated, right? So I'm saying that we are going into spring, and I go through a routine. It's 1 week sugar-free, 1 week raw, and then I bring you through a number of cleanses that I don't care what you have. It's going to improve your health. And I'm going to be doing that live on Facebook, but I'm going to talk about it here on the show when I come. And I'm going to prepare persons if you have constipation, if you have diabetes, if you have arthritis. I don't care what you have. You need to listen. You need to be on between 11:30 and 12 p.m. on a Thursday. Take your lunchtime, shift your lunchtime, shift your breakfast. Whatever you need to do, download the app, get the Styles app for 11:30. You need to lock in on a Thursday from 11:30 to 12. That is going to rock your world. And I feel like with some of you guys, you're the doctor of your community.
Yeah. Before we totally run out of time, Karen is asking where can she get the nasal spray?
Alright, the nasal spray, we have the nasal spray, Karen. We have the nasal spray. As a matter of fact, it's not a spray. It's a procedure. So if you come in, as I said, what we do is teach people one time, and I can show you how to do it yourself thereafter.
Okay, and she's all the way in Monique, so if you're ever that side of the island, I guess Buff Bay will be closest to her, right? All right, we're totally out of time. Well, it was really good. I didn't know what to expect, but you have to keep an open mind.
That's right.
And it's good to see that the work that you're doing, because it is very, very necessary. We tend to want to go to doctors for everything, and then they give you all of these pills and you get sicker. Because that's what those pills do, they make you sicker.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear, because when I first started this program, we used to do a lot of health, things. And you said something, I just want to let you know that we also do raw.
I saw that.
At the restaurant.
I saw that.
Yes, we do raw, yeah. I mean like a whole raw dish.
I saw it, man, because
Yes.
that number one, I asked him about alkaline diet, raw foods. He said he does it to some extent, but when he told me it was just one, then I said to him that it would be good because we wanted to open a raw restaurant and the property there.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we have a different, but it's because you have to actually
The market.
inquire before and ask. Because I had my friend Dr. Harris Latam, who had opened up, I don't know if you know.
I spoke to, he was supposed to be with us, when was it, last year, October?
I've done a lot of work with Harris, and he had opened up in Portland,
Up in the,
in Anchovy Pass.
up on the hill, yeah.
Well, he started on the hill, and then he came down to, what do you call that there? Clear Spring.
Clear Spring, yeah, man, right
Yes,
up on
yes. But it didn't really work out for him because
That's
Portland
what he
doesn't,
started.
yes, it doesn't really have that. But
We want
we'll
to
go
change
back
that.
on
We want to change because at our property, we want to do a number of conferences. We have a lot of space. Some of those persons are listening, and we've taken over Crest, now Portland Inn, and basically that's what we want. We want to bring natural medicine and the key persons in the industry globally here in Portland. So we want to create that industry here in Portland. So I see us doing lots of work together, and I look forward to tapping into your endless resources, not just locally but internationally as well, to bring the best of the best here in Jamaica. Because we want to lift up this little island.
Yes, and we have to, especially this parish.
Especially this
All right, thank you. We're totally out of time, so Cassidy is going to run his ads, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
All right.
Next week, Thursday.
So until next time, remember, your health is your responsibility, and the greatest weapon against sickness and disease is education, not medication. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister
Yeah?
P.
Hey, it's Jamaica's favorite naturopath, Dr. Ben-Yisrael. Join me for the natural alternative on Styles FM. This and every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to 12 noon. During Spiritual Vibrations with Sister P.
DLB Black Factory and Hardware Supplies Limited, your home for the widest selection of building materials and hardware supplies in Portland. Shop everything from plumbing to electrical to home decor. Find unbelievable prices on tiles, toilets, sets, doors, windows, numbers, and much more. Get up to 25%.
YISRAEL.
Saturday afternoon with your mega month in sale. Visit any 3 locations in Portland.